Do not look at my unmade bed, okay? It's early. My back hurts. I've been trying to heal it. So I've been laying in that bed a lot, alright? Before we get started, I want to give a shout out to all our Patreon members. As always, you guys know the drill. You guys are the absolute best. You can put it on a t-shirt, because I say that literally every video, but it is true. Anthony Jones, thank you for joining the Patreon new member. Thank you so much. Now, let's get into today's video. It's going to be a quick one. I don't want to take too much of your time, and I want to get straight to the point. In the comments down below, I think you guys know the title of the video and the thumbnail and what it's about. In the comments down below, let me know what celebrity drive, well, I don't want to say celebrity driver, but what international driver or a race car driver from another series you would like to see give the NASCAR Cup Series a shot. That's very important to make very clear that it's the Cup Series. You know, this Project 91 that Trackhouse Racing team owner Justin Marks has decided to go ahead with, where it seems like they're going to run a part-time schedule, very, very limited schedule right now. I think the first race that we will talk about, you know, the guy who's going to do it, we'll talk about in a second, is the only race so far for this season, and it's going to be going on like a, you know, week by week, month by month basis of how they can get guys to come in and give the Cup Series a shot. But let me know in the comments who you would like to see. You could be realistic, you could be unrealistic, it doesn't really matter. If you want to say my name, hey, put Milad Rabin in that car. Well, I'll tell you right now, unless it's Daytona, I'm probably crashing on lap 2. No, I'm giving myself way too much credit. I'm probably crashing on lap 1, turn 1, maybe on the start of the race, maybe on the pace lap. Honestly, maybe coming, actually, would I even be able to start the car? I don't even know if I'd be able to start the car, yeah. But hey, if they want to give content creators on YouTube a shout, if it's Daytona, I can do it. If it's Talladega, I can do it. If it's anywhere else, I don't think I can do it. Even Daytona and Talladega are really pushing it, to be honest. You know, I've never gone 190 miles per hour in my lifetime, so I'm not really sure how I'd mentally be able to handle that. But the first driver that is going to be in this project is Kimi Räikkönen, who, for some of you young folk, if you are watching, you might not know that he has been in NASCAR before. It was way back in the day for us old folk. Not too old. I'm only 25, okay? I'm not 35 or 45 or 65. It's okay. But Kimi Räikkönen ran a few nationwide / Xfinity Series races, and he did a pretty good job. Don't think he lit the world on fire, but he did a good job. And so it's not a surprise to see Kimi Räikkönen as the first guy in for that project. I'm fully on board with it. And he will be racing at Watkins Glen, so a road course. Fits perfectly with the F1 background. And, you know, he does have oval experience, too, because, again, he was in the Xfinity Series running some races. So he has that oval experience. I wanted to see him on an oval, but, you know, actually, I want to see what he could do at a road course and see what he could give to the Cup guys. That's the biggest difference, though, is Räikkönen has never been in the Cup Series, to my knowledge. Maybe I'm wrong on that, but I'm pretty sure when he was in NASCAR, he only did the Nationwide Series / Xfinity Series. So I'm not, or was it the Truck Series? Did he do some truck races? My mind's completely blurry now, but he never did Cup. I don't remember him ever doing a Cup Series race. And so to see Kimi Räikkönen go up against the Cup guys, the best in the sport, that's what interests me. And with a team where it's not like you're putting a driver into a car that's not competitive. That team is competitive. I'm fully expecting that third car to be competitive. And, you know, we'll see what if Räikkönen gets a top 10, that's insane. Honestly, if you could just hop into a stock car in the Cup Series at Watkins Glen and get a top 10, I don't care how much talent you have or, you know, how great you are. That's insane, because these guys do this week in, week out. You could just hop in there and beat 30 of them. Well, to be fair, it'd be pretty easy to beat Rickway Racing. But other than that, I mean, damn, that's actually really impressive. But the other side of this video is who I would want to see as well. And I'm just going to throw out some names, guys. And that's why at the beginning of the video, I asked you to leave your comments down below with the names that you want. And the first guy I'm going to pick out, which is the most common name that was thrown out there. And I think even after today, I just finished watching, well, not, FP2 is actually still going on. So I just finished watching Daniel Ricciardo actually shunted into the wall. But Daniel Ricciardo is the guy I was thinking. That wouldn't be this season. That would, I mean, it could possibly be next season. Because the thing is, and this is kind of a sad thing, is that Daniel Ricciardo in his time at McLaren has been very poor. He has not been giving his teammate Lando Norris any real competitive challenge. He did win at Monza last season, but I mean his consistency, his overall performance is just not there. And it doesn't matter what your personality, it doesn't matter how big of a name you are. if your performance is dropping to the levels that Ricciardo is dropping to, it's getting harder and harder to envision him remaining in Formula One much longer, because also his wages, his salary is very high. It's not like you could just bring in it's not like Daniel Ricciardo's a young driver on a not as expensive salary. He's getting paid more than Lando Norris, so he's on an expensive salary, and he's just not performing at all, which opens up the door for next season where I could see him giving NASCAR a shot. And he's not old. Daniel Ricciardo's not old. It's just that he's not performing in Formula One, and I don't see the Formula One door being open much longer for him, which is a shame, because I think he did have championship caliber talent, but he just made a few decisions, a few years ago that just weren't the right decisions, and it is what it is. The second name I want to throw out is, I don't know how he's doing right now. I think he had an incident, so let me actually quickly check how he's doing. Oh, so he's okay. He had an incident in January, but he's currently doing the American Rally Association, is Travis Pastrana. And he seems like, I'm reading an article right here. He said, I'm the 4th fastest in the American Rally Association, and that it's been a complicated, the sub-headline here says it's been a complicated start to the year for the Subaru Motorsports USA driver. But yeah, Travis Pastrana, again, another guy with NASCAR experience, gave NASCAR a shot. I think he did okay. I don't think he did good. I think he could have done better. But, even he said it, years ago when he was in NASCAR again in the Xfinity, in the Truck Series, I think it was, that it was a struggle. He was struggling and trying to get the hang of it. And that's, again, another guy I'd like to see in that Project 91 car if it, stays what it should be, which is like, hey, you come in, you try it out. Okay, now you come in, you try it out. Okay, you come in, you pick the track, you try it out. And so, it's, maybe you give you 2-3 races. I think that's really cool. That's another name I'm putting out there. The third name I'm throwing out is a name you guys will know. He sometimes goes by the name of Rodney Sandstorm, and he's wearing some Jeff Gordon fan gear, looking like a badass. His name is Jordan Taylor. He's an American professional racing car driver. He does sports car. He is a really good racing driver, big fan of NASCAR, has never given NASCAR a shot. And this is one name I'm thinking about, where if he wants, over the next few years, if this, Project 91 keeps going on, if he wants to hop in for a race, the only thing is that there's no stock car experience. That's the only problem. He has sports car experience, but he doesn't have stock car experience. And I think he's a really good driver. I think he'll be fine. So I think we're going to start getting into names that haven't been in the stock cars. And so my third pick will be Jordan. He's just such a good personality, such a good guy, really good race car driver. I don't see what the harm is. Come do it. Now we're getting into Dreamland a little bit. I'm not going to lie. I'm going to start getting into a little bit of Dreamland. My fourth pick, I don't know when this could happen because the seasons intertwine. And I just don't. My only thing is maybe during the summer break. Formula One always has a summer break. And during that time, if you can find a race that he would want to do during this summer break in NASCAR, this is when I would do it. And it is something, I think out of all the drivers on this list, this is the name I want to see most. Because it would just be so massive. And he has mentioned NASCAR before. So the name is Lewis Hamilton. The arguable greatest of all time in Formula One, the 7-time champion, has over 100 race wins. He's not done in Formula One. He is still an elite racing driver, and I do not want him to interrupt his season by doing this in NASCAR. So that's why I say I don't know when this could happen, because I don't see him retiring anytime soon. I still think he has a solid 4 years left in him, and probably a little bit more after that if he wants to. I think he could go to 42, 43, as still a championship level driver. But I want to see him do this. And I want to see him do it really badly. Now, the reason why I saved him till 4th is because, again, I don't see it happening anytime soon. The only time it could happen is Formula One does have a summer break. And during that summer break, you could have 3 NASCAR races that you could possibly do. And if he wants to come to the States and he can get permission from Mercedes to do it and come to an agreement with Justin Marks and Trackhouse Racing to do it, then that would be amazing. But it would have to be, like, in his terms, if he would do it over the next 2 to 3 years, it would have to be a road course, and it can't be something too dangerous. Like, he ain't coming to Daytona, you know, like Mercedes would never let that happen. They would be comfortable with him doing a road course race because arguably he, you know, does probably more dangerous things in Formula One with the open wheel cockpit and such. So if you told him, hey, Lewis, do you want to go and do, you know, Sonoma during our summer break? Or do you want to do the Indianapolis road course during our summer break? You know, I don't know exactly what races fall under the summer break, but that would be the type of race that he could do. And seeing Lewis Hamilton in the Cup Series in NASCAR is, I think, a lot of people's, you know, one of their main wishes when it comes to motorsports, to see that crossover. It's just like any crossover, you know, hoping Kyle Larson does the Indy 500 one day, or a NASCAR driver does go and try, I wouldn't say Formula 1, but maybe like Formula 2 or Formula 3 and see what they could do over there. You want to see those crossovers between the main sports, the main motorsports, and to get, you know, Lewis Hamilton to go to NASCAR, I give it a 5% chance. But there's a chance. There's 100% a chance. It's a small chance, but there's a chance. Now, my fifth driver, again, I'm going into a little bit of dreamland, okay? But I'm going to give you guys the scenario. This is a scenario I've thought about for the fifth driver if they want to do Project 91 with Trackhouse Racing. So here's the scenario. You got to be at Indianapolis, okay? Now, this has happened. I just want to point out this has happened. NASCAR and IndyCar have been in Indianapolis. This just happened like last year. And they did that doubleheader where IndyCar, I think, ran Saturday and NASCAR did Sunday. Was that Indianapolis or was that another track? Now I might be messed up. I don't know. I think it was Indianapolis. Hopefully it was. If not, then go to Indianapolis, okay? Now you take one of the current superstars in IndyCar, which is Colton Herta. Now, he might be in Formula 1 by the time this is even possible, if, you know, Mario Andretti can get that Formula 1 team going. But you go to Indianapolis, Project 91 comes to play. They get a car. You could do the double header. You could do IndyCar one day, NASCAR the other day. Actually, this one I give a higher chance of it happening than Lewis Hamilton, so maybe I should have put it fourth. But again, this is a little bit of daydreaming. I don't know if it could happen, if that can come to that agreement. But Colton Herta in NASCAR during a weekend at Indianapolis where IndyCar, NASCAR both there doing a double header or something. That is something I would love to see. And last but not least, sixth on the list. I don't really know why I'm putting this on here, but I don't know. I just had an idea. I'm gonna put Jimmy Johnson. Jimmy Johnson, current IndyCar Series driver. Yeah, I don't see the harm in it. I don't see the harm in putting him on. If he wants to come back to the Cup Series and do a race, pick your favorite track, Jimmy. You've done this long enough, you know. Although I don't know if he would want to. The only thing is he drove for Hendrick his whole career, so I'm not sure if he would want to do it with a different team if he would come back to NASCAR for like a one-time race. Because, you know, Jeff Gordon, when he came back with Hendrick Motorsports because Dale Earnhardt Jr. had those issues and he, you know, filled in. But, you know, Jimmy willingly driving for another car owner other than Hendrick Motorsports, that's where it gets a little bit tough. I'm not sure, but I'm gonna put Jimmy on there, and that's gonna be my list. I didn't put any, you know, I know the project sometimes it can say celebrity drivers, but to you know, that's just not realistic. You gotta have, you know, a racing background and have really good success in whatever discipline of racing you're doing in order, I think, to do this. So I put out 6 names, and we, you know, we went with at the back, least likely to most likely. I think we went Jimmy Johnson, Colton Herta, Lewis Hamilton, Jordan Taylor, Daniel Ricciardo, and Kimi Räikkönen, who obviously is already doing it. So those are the 6 guys I named. Let me know in the comments down below what you think. Do you agree with that? And also, what tracks would you like them to see? And you know, I'd love to see certain guys like Jordan Taylor, Kimi Räikkönen if he does it again, Daniel Ricciardo. I would like them to come to NASCAR, and yes, I would most likely understand they'd probably do a road course, but I'd also really like to see them do an oval. Just see, because oval racing is just different than road course racing. It takes maybe a different skill set, different mindset, and just to see what they could do in like a one-shot, one-go race. But you know, that's just my opinion. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Subscribe if you're new. Hit the like button if you enjoyed the video. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram if you're not already. I think this is a wonderful thing for the sport. I'm really, really excited for it. And just shout out Justin Marks and you know, first of all, their paint schemes are already incredible. But now the fact that they're doing this, that team's right now, that team's my second favorite team. Obviously, Hendrick Motorsports will be number one, but my second favorite team in the sport right now. I think a lot of people's, you know, are really high on what Trackhouse Racing are doing. They're doing some excellent things, innovative things. This is awesome, marketing-wise, to bring new talent to the sport for exposure and just for fun as well. This is great. And so shout out to Justin Mark, shout out to Trackhouse Racing. One of my favorite things to happen this season in NASCAR was this announcement. So, and you know that because I made a video on it. So take care of yourselves, enjoy the rest of your day. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace out.